Modern Oracle against the nations. Against the nations of 2017. Near, far, and in between. People of every tribe, race, and regime. Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Hear the word of the Lord. He burns with anger towards you. You who persecute the weak and seek to satisfy your own selfish desires, you liars and cheats, belligerent buffoons, benefiting off the bruised backs of the broken, barely able to break even, but you break them even still. You'd be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished. Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. Saudi Arabia. My dear Saudi Arabia, beautiful land in the east. Least likely to live lives of lawlessness in the holy city of Mecca. But wait a second. Think of 2015. The Sunni Saudi regime killed more than 150 of your own team. What could this mean? All of these brutal beheadings in the name of your king. It's like blood runs in your streets daily and your land cries out with a wailing of the innocent voices of your victims, but I will avenge them, says the Lord. Your patriarchal society is hateful and oppressive, possessive over your women who don't even have the legal right to drive a car. Bar after bar of gold is stacked greedily, accumulated steadily from your fat oil reserves, the nerve. And you boast in your wealth at the expense of your people's health. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken and God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. North Korea. I see a battered and bruised land, corrupt and controlled by a wicked and merciless man. So hungry for power, meanwhile his people are hungry and cower in fear. Frightened of being found guilty of thinking free. Even his fears of famine for the physical food loom near. You appear to have no problem force-feeding your people 5 servings of false propaganda for free. See me, see me, see me, you scream to the world, free me, free me, free me. It's the cry of your boys and your girls. Your leader only holds his power through the murder of any and all who oppose the threat. Set the stage for the reign of terror. Turn the page, for God's voice fills the air. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. Somalia. Awake, East Africa. Your people are starving. Do you not find this alarming? Your landscape has become littered with the bodies of dead animals, foreshadowing the grim futures of forsaken families who can't find water or food. Many cannot even fathom the famine catastrophe looming upon your land. Your streets are filled with the violence and mutilation of torture and rape. And your government is accused of corruption. Eruption of chaos seems inevitable for you. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. Thailand. In 2016, you mourned the death of your king, seen by many and worshipped by many as a deity. Known for your beautiful beaches, you're the land of pleasure. However, pleasure comes at a price paid by those who cannot defend themselves. Your blanket of beauty is only a veil for the utter viciousness which lies beneath. Your nation is guilty of exploiting women and children to slavery, easily becoming one of the world's worst trafficking areas. Your perverted paradise is found in the helpless pair of eyes that you rape, murder, and molest. The press reports from within your corrupt government claims the improvement game as if things are really getting better. Better believe you're only trying to save face to the rest of the world as if you've got them twirled around your finger like daddy's little girl. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken. God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. Daughter Russia, you're the largest nation on earth in terms of landmass. No doubt your leader Putin ran fast toward censoring independent media within your land. And it would stand to say that freedom of speech is well beyond the reach of your poor people. Lest they lose their life, strife knocks at the door of anyone who might oppose the fortified force of a nationalist society and anti-West abiding the what's in it for me mentality of a big nation forcing itself upon the weak and defenseless. And all this in offense of nationalist selfish gain. Meanwhile, civilians lay slaughtered and slain in Ukraine. But your greed is never satisfied, pride flexed for the world to see. Through the airstrikes you leave, heaps of destruction and baby bodies buried beneath broken rubble is a subtle reminder of the terror that you let go through the raids of hell that rained down on Aleppo. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. To the DRC, can't you see you displease me? Says the Lord. You should be one of Africa's wealthiest nations. Instead, your land is rampaged by European colonization, configurations of deep-rooted greed that leads to the hearts of men to believe that they must take more than they seemingly need. Don't you know power without accountability corrupts the heart of the one in control? My precious Congo, your killings, conflict, and corruption have led to a chaotic loop. Your people are slaughtered as innocent casualties by militias and rebel groups. Your leader refuses to give up his power. Now comes the hour of the Lord Almighty. Would you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Open your ears and hear the word of the Lord. China, your chosen one-child policy was only recently revoked, but is a chilling chokehold on your nation's children built into your communist system, wherein 23 million abortions take place every year, and fear from within your nation's leadership as they fail to acknowledge that your country sits within the brink of a heavy air pollution blip. The drip of your faucets run dry as many of your cities lack the safe drinking water. Meanwhile, monks ignite themselves on fire, flames raging higher in protest of defense in a call for Tibetan independence. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts will go unpunished? Your world is broken, now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. You, America, home of the free, land of the brave, well, brave is the child sex slave sold into trafficking within your very walls. Within your very walls falls dead bodies daily. As suicide rates go sailing and minorities are wailing in your divided streets, you claim to be the one nation under God, all the while worshipping multiple idols of money, power, and sex, perplexed in your own fascination of fantastic achievements. Your peaceful politicians speak slanderous speeches of hate and aggression, and your self-obsession raids the souls of your people like a stampede as it fills the hearts with greed, addiction begun with a very swipe of a thumb. Border wall proposals said to fix the problem of immigration. Have you forgotten how I began and started and formed your nation? Will you be so naive to believe that the inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord, a modern oracle against the nations of 2017, near, far, and in between, people of every tribe, race, and regime. Your world is broken. Now God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord. He burns with anger towards you, you who persecute the weak. For your own selfish desires, you liars and cheats, belligerent buffoons, benefiting off the back of the bruised and the broken, barely able to break even, but you break them even still. Will you be so naive to believe that your inconceivable acts of injustice will go unpunished? Your world is broken, and God has spoken. Open your ear and hear the word of the Lord.